Welcome back to the Scuderia Archive. Our 1950 campaign ended in a heap of twisted metal at Monza. But it is a new year. May 1951, over the winter, the racing world has transformed. Independent garages, factory squads, and wealthy privateers are lining up to change history. Walk into the archive. This is the official grid layout and complete driver roster for the 1951 Formula One World Championship. Let's count them down. We start at the absolute boundaries of survival. British privateer Philip Fotheringham Parker enters a solitary pre-war Maserati 4CL entirely under his own name. It is old, it is tired, and he is fighting an uphill battle against time itself. Joining the back row are three legendary independent privateers entering entirely out of their own pockets. Le Mans winner Eugene Chabon brings his own unique Talbot Largo T26C GS chassis. George Grenard rolls out his personal twin-spark DA model for Spain. And the pompous bull himself, Jose Froilán González, starts his legendary 1951 campaign completely out of pocket, driving a privateer Talbot Largo T26C GS at the Swiss season opener. They lock factory backing, but their raw grit keeps them on the grid. Right next to them is another pure privateer entry running under the name FR Girard. Bob Girard pirating his legendary upright ERE B-type. This car is a pre-war artifact. Bob Girard's engineering grit means you can never count this classical British combination out. Sharing the grid with fellow standalone privateer Brian Shaw Taylor, who entered an identical ERA model entirely under his own name this season. Representing the Republic of Ireland, we find Joe Kelly running his privateer Alta GP3. Featuring a fragile supercharged engine, Kelly is hoping for a reliability miracle just to escape the final row. Next, we find racing royalty alongside pure independence. Akiri Siam returns. Spearheaded by Prince Baira, historically known as Prince Bear Bairabong of Thailand, driving a distinct light blue and yellow Maserati 4CL T48. Baira's legendary speed makes him a wildcard. Sharing that identical updated tubular chassis is Swiss privateer Tony Branca, entering his own personal 4CL T48 entirely under his own name after purchasing it from Louis Chiron over the winter. Sharing the independent privateer space this season is John James, pushing his own personal 4CL T48 layout that he bought from Reg Parnell over the winter. Closing out the back row is the tiny British team HWM, or Hersham Walton Motors. Unlike other teams running a massive carousel, they are keeping it strictly lean this year, entering a brutal two-man attack spearheaded by a young, rising superstar named Sterling Moss and his teammate George Abecassis. Moving into the midfield, we find Scuderia Milano. They are running two distinct drivers across the 1951 season, utilising the talents of Onfrey Merriman and Pacagoda to find an aggressive edge. Sharing that identical Italian chassis is Scuderia Ambrosiana. Moving away from their multi-car past, they are keeping it strictly lean this year, running an entirely solo campaign for Scotsman's David Murray. Murray is relying on a pure mechanical consistencies to stay alive and pick up the pieces when the faster factory cars fail. The final Maserati customer squad is Enrico Plate. They are boasting a highly experienced lethal international lineup across the 1951 campaign, fielding an American racer Harry Schell alongside the Monegasque racing legend Louis Chiron for the season opener. They are also the home base for the Swiss driver Tolja Griffenried, who splits this year between this privateer outfit and a highly profile factory call-ups. Now we hit the heavy French steel. Akiri Belgique enters the grid flying the national racing yellows of Belgium, driven across the season by André Pilet, Jacques Schwetters, and later French driver Guy Maurice. This standard Talbot Largo T26C is slow but notoriously tough to break, making it the exact same model choice for the standalone privateers like Yves Girard Cobenches, Pierre Levy and Duncan Hamilton, who all entered identical unupgraded custom Talbots under their own names this season. Operating right alongside them is Johnny Claus, running his independent Acuri Belge entering solo. Claus will be extracting every ounce of momentum from his standard Talbot to fight his countrymen in the midfield standing. At the top of the customer field sits Acuri Rosier, led by the legendary veteran Luis Rosier alongside Henry Leval. They are also welcoming Louis Chiron to the cockpit for the remainder of the year after his short stint with Plate. Running the upgraded twin-spark DA model, they don't need to pit for fuel, making them a massive strategic threat in our upcoming Let's Play. This advanced layout was highly sought after, with iconic independent privateers Philip Ettensillen and once again Guy Maurice, also buying and entering their own personal T26C DA models completely solo this year. Entering the upper midfield is the fascinating Swiss outfit Acuri Espadon. They are running a wild 2 prone to tack. Rudi Fischer will pilot a customer Ferrari 212, while Peter Hurt tackles the grid in the rare German Virtus motor. Next, we pass our past. Wealthy British privateer Peter Whitehead returns with his own independent team running an old supercharged Ferrari 125. Sharing his independent Ferrari block is the legendary pioneer Chico Landi, the first Brazilian to ever enter a Formula 1 Championship Grand Prix. We bought and entered his own personal Ferrari 375 single-seater for the grid at Monza. It's incredible seeing old customer Maranello still fighting out on the asphalt. Now we hit pure, unadulterated power. This is the official Oscar factory team. Founded by the Maserati brothers, they have built the Oscar 4500 Jeep, driven entirely by a single driver, Franco Roll. This monster packs a massive 4.5 litre V12 designed to fight the front runners head on. British Racing Motors finally arrives with legendary BRM P15, powered by a terrifying supercharged 1.5 litre V6 engine. They are bringing a focused, lethal 2-man team British attack to the grid this season, putting the experienced Reg Parnell and sports car ace Peter Walker behind the wheel. They have the raw straight line speed to destroy the entire field, if the complex, fragile car can actually manage to survive the checkered flag. The final disruptor before the elite class is Tony Vondervoor's Tin Wall Special. He has taken a factory Ferrari 375 chassis, painted it green, and put Reg Parnell and Peter Whitehead behind the wheel to steal points for the front runners. In third place is the ultimate tier sits the official Equip Gordini factory squad. They are throwing a massive 4-driver assault at the championship this season, utilising the veteran Maurice Trintignant, Robert Manson, Andre Simon, and the boss' own son, Aldo Gordini. These lightweight French single-seaters completely lack our factory V12 power, but their insane cornering agility makes them a slight hazard on tight, twisty circuits. And here is our weapon, the official factory Scuderia Ferrari. We have retired the old 125. We have stepped into the primary seats of Ferrari's absolute superstar, Alberto Ascari, flanked by Luigi Villarossi, Javier Tariffi, and Jose Frolon Gonzalez. Armed with an upgraded V12, our mission is clear. Bring home the championship to Maranello. But, to do it, we have to break an empire. At the absolute top of the mountain sits Alfa Romeo. Running a massive powerhouse lineup, the reigning champion Juan Manuel Fangio and the legendary Nina Farina lead an elite roster that includes Luigi Fagioli, Felice Benetto, Consalvi Senesi, German hero Paul Peitsch, and Plate's own Toldi Griffenride, who was hired directly by the factory to lead their charge at his home race. They are the ultimate targets on our hit list. 30 teams, 42 of the world's most fearless drivers and privateers. The fight against Alfa Romeo begins this Sunday morning at 7 AM sharp, and the weather at the Swiss Grand Prix is an absolute catastrophe. Subscribe to the Scuderia Archive. Hit the bell so you don't miss our Thursday highlight shorts and Friday's pole lap, and let's go racing. See you on the grid.